Hi guys, welcome to Weekend Movie Channel. Like most of people, we love the movie The Shawshank Redemption and its main character Andy Dufresne. Andy's strength of mind and the special look at the world around him attract the audience, and this film has been considered a classic a long time ago. However, besides this masterpiece, there are a lot of great movies about jailbreak. We decided to put together the top 7 best films about it, and not including The Shawshank. If the video turns out to be interesting to you, later we will make a second part of this top. There are some more films about the escape, so let's begin. Lock Up. Frank Leone was imprisoned by coincidence, but in general he is a good person, and for exemplary behavior he is even released on the weekend so that he can meet his beloved Melissa. But suddenly Leone was transferred to another prison, where the boss is his enemy, Warden Drumgle, who cannot forgive Frank that he has already escaped from prison, and not just escaped but told the press about the horrors of the correctional institution where Drumgle was in charge. This is a black spot in the impeccable desire of the chef, and he will do anything to ensure that Leone gets lifelong as a dangerous recidivist. The film turned out to be sharp, intense and dynamic, what clearly contributes to a really worthy development plot in the best traditions of the genre. 7th place, Lock Up. The Escapist. Frank Perry is serving a life sentence in a maximum security prison. At this time, his daughter in freedom and she is in trouble. The main character doesn't want to put up with this state of affairs. An escape plan is repairing in his head. It's impossible to carry out such an adventure alone, and several more prisoners join the plan. The relations between the conspirators are far from friendly, but for the sake of common goal, they will forget about disagreements and focus on the escape. The presented storyline of the film is not in the direct order, and a similar manner gives additional interest to the story. 6th place, The Escapist. Escape Plan. Escape specialist Ray Breslin works for a private security company, testing the best US prisons and helping customers identify their weaknesses. Ray believes that you can escape from almost any prison if you have some more intellectual abilities and know the floor plan. Breslin visited various prisons, but one day he gets into trouble. He was suddenly abducted and imprisoned in a special and very strict regime. Not a single prisoner was able to escape from it. Ray begins to plan an escape, but realizes that he will not be falsified, it will be real, because no one is going to help him out. However, he still receives help in the prison of local authority, who is also interested in escaping and is ready for anything for the sake of freedom. This is a very dynamic film with interesting plot. 5th place, Escape Plan. The Next 3 Days. An ordinary person, John Brennan, a humble college teacher and a happy family man, suddenly becomes a victim of an evil accident and loses everything that made up the meaning of his life. His wife Lara was arrested on suspicion of murder. All investigative materials against her, and it's hardly possible to avoid the imprisonment. Whether she actually committed a crime or not will remain a mystery until the last moment. The trial lasts for 3 whole years. At first, John firmly believes in his wife's innocence, but over time this moral issue fades into the background and is completely supplanted by the desire to get her out of prison at all cost. A man of very average intelligence is methodically impressed in a known to him criminal world, collect all available information, and along the way studies many interesting specialties, for example such as making master key and foraging documents. 4th place, The Next 3 Days. Escape from Alcatraz. Alcatraz is a world-famous prison. It was built in the 30s of the last century and was originally military, but then became the most strict and isolated. The most dangerous criminals were placed in it, since it was simply impossible to escape from this place. Even Al Capone himself was serving his term here. But soon, the robber Frank Morris got in prison, who didn't want to put up with his stay in this place. He began to plan an escape. The plan seems impossible, but Frank managed to do the impossible in 7 months. He carefully thought out everything, and he did it. He really escaped from the most guarded and strict prison. This is the most scandalous and great escape in the history of America, was perfectly beaten in this film. Third place, Escape from Alcatraz. Midnight Express. The story of this drama was based on real events in the life of American citizen Billy Hayes, a man who crossed the line of the law and fell into a world more like hell than just a prison. Billy tried to take out 2 kilograms of hashish from Turkey, but was caught during a search. His relatives tried to put him out of there, but could only achieve that the guy received a term of 4 years. And then, when it was 53 more days to stay, there was a review of his case, and the term was increased to 30 years. This movie tells us about the loneliness, what happening in place of detention. We are told about the rotten judicial system and corruption, about the degradation of many prison officers as individuals. Despite the fact that the film was shot in 1978, this topic is still relevant. Very truthful plot, acting, thoughtful actions, and dialogues put pressure on the viewer, plunging him into shock. Second place, Midnight Express. Papillon. Unjustly convinced of the murder, Henri Chenier, nicknamed Papillon, is in hard labor in French Guiana. The rules prevailing there do not suit the freedom-loving Henri, who is preparing an escape. But before that, he will have to find out all the difficulties of being in prison, spend a long time in solitary confinement, but never break. And even after all the abuses of him by servants, of hard labor, Papillon doesn't leave his dream to escape from this horror, where all the prisoners were sent to death, and the state deleted them from the list of their citizens. A piercing film about the life story in prison of one man who decides not to put up with his problem, but to find a way to escape. You will watch this movie with interest, thanks to the seasoned work of the director, the well-written plot, and the wonderful play of Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. First place, Papillon. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching, share your movie impressions in the comments below. And if you like our video, then don't forget to subscribe and put the big thumbs up. See you, bye!